Serge here from the back porch, continuing on this line of blogs that came in on the concept of power and distance. The last one I want to address is from Gary Adams, and Gary brought in and added another perspective to this concept of power and distance, which is really good, and that's why I think I'll bring it to y'all today. And Gary said on power and distance, I converted to the Serge swing about 2 months ago. I had troubles with distance prior to the swing conversion. In my practice sessions, I have noticed that the limited turn golf swing demands solid contact to achieve distance. Well, we know solid contact is all about distance, because you can have the same club head speed, hit it solid, it goes a distance, hit it less solid, and it goes shorter. All right, and as Doc Griffin, as I said in the very first day I did this, said that we have the 5 most important things we have to cover to hit a ball farther. And number 1 is club head speed has to be, you have to have club head speed. The more club head speed, the farther the ball goes. The second one is shorter shafts. We've learned that in most cases, especially with the woods and especially with the driver, we're swinging shafts, most people, probably as much as 95% of us are swinging shafts too long, because that makes it more difficult to put the club, to swing the club faster and make solid contact. Number 3, he says, Doc Griffin said, off-center hits means you miss the sweet spot. Creates poor shots in direction and distance. Number 4, he said, shaft performance means the right length, and the right flex, and the right characteristics of the shaft, where the load points and kick points match your speed, your tempo, your strength, your everything about that you need to have to hit a golf, to swing a club correctly. And number 5, proper lofts. Many of us are swinging with too much loft. That's why we better hitting fairway woods and hybrids off than long irons, because they have more loft and they're better designed to hit the ball up in the air, which more air time in many cases is hitting the ball farther, especially like when you have to carry greenside bunkers to get on the green. All right, so those are the 5 points Lynn brought up and we talk about. And here Gary comes right out and says, right off the bat, he understands that he hits the ball farther when he hits it in a sweet spot and hits it solid on the face. And he says, I know when I hit a good drive by the sound on the face. You know a sound. Like I've told people, I can stand here and with my back to you, no matter what club you're hitting, I can tell you how you hit it just by the sound of the ball on the club face and the club to the contact of the ground. I can tell where you hit it, because that's the sound that's important. That's why it's so important to be practicing and hearing yourself. That's why I think it's actually insane to practice with listen to music or whatever people are listening to when I see them on the range with earplugs in, because you're losing an important aspect, an important facet of knowing a good golf shot is not only just seeing it and feeling it, but it's hearing the shot. The ball hitting the club face. Or I should say the club face hitting the ball is an important thing, as well as the sound of the club face in the ground. And that's why, and I've talked to psychologists about this, practicing listening to music is too much, I think, for most people. And if you've been practicing a lot that way, you're not happy with everything, take it off and see if you don't improve your ball striking and your playing by knowing and listening. The more senses you use, the more powerful the feedback. The more powerful the feedback, the quicker the learning experience. And the better you learn, the better you can perform. Because it's timing, it's your mind tells your body what to do. Well, an important facet of whatever gets in your mind is hearing things. And if you've been blessed to have hearing, then let's use it. Don't stifle it by listening to whatever you're listening to in these earphones, especially if it's pretty wild and loud music in your mind. You're getting rid of that sense is I think is just really taking a great deal of knowledge and learning from your practice time. Gary went on to say, I would make sure that you're properly fitted for a driver as a suggestion. The other thing that I would try to focus on is the slight bump in the hips on the follow-through, which is triggered by the image of skipping a rock. So I brought Gary in today because he brought up the points about solid contact, the points about having a fitted driver, and getting into the swing and doing the bump and swinging up to the tee finish. Remember, our key to hitting better shots is that we don't hit the ball, we don't hit down on the ball, we swing up to the tee finish. And that swinging up is what really allows and helps us get greater and more consistent acceleration through the ball. So Gary, again, great comments and the points he brought in to further on what we discussed in the other days on the points that were phenomenal points that were brought up: club fitting, solid, and swinging up to the tee finish by making sure you do the bump, which is very similar to skipping rocks on a lake. So again, thank you, Gary, for your great suggestions. We've had this blog is really working out great. You all bringing up good points, and we're going to be addressing it, because in the end, I think that your thoughts, your feelings that you've achieved are great to pass on, because again, we all get better by taking the things that I say, whether they're general or specific, and we have to apply it and find out what feels and works best for us, because we're all individuals. A thought that works for me might not work for you. A thought that works for Gary might not work for you. You got to take those and open your mind up and your senses and start developing the senses and the feels for what your swing, to make the Surge swing with your swing more efficient, more consistent, and therefore more productive, so you can hit the balls more solid, straight, and longer, and shoot those lower scores. Well, that's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.